You might hate me for saying this, but I love this book, An Unsuitable Boy by Karan Johar with Poonam Saxena. The fact that I don't usually review books on a video speaks in itself. Of course, I've read better books, but this was interesting through and through. No matter what you call him, Karan Johar is an interesting personality and definitely one of the epicenters of Bollywood. Not a Karan Johar fan as such, but as someone who has grown up watching Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum, Kal Ho Na Ho, because of my sisters, and of course Coffee with Karan. I wanted to know what goes on inside the minds of movie people. So yeah, I tried this one. I was laughing one moment and crying the very next, and there were a couple of moments like that. And I could hear Karan Johar narrating the book, so that was something I really liked. So I'll touch upon 5 things that I mentioned in the book. Of course, there are a lot more, but I'll touch upon these 5. Keju's internal transition, then loneliness, music and movies, friendships and fallouts, and his sexuality, of course, which was why people were like, oh, this book has come out now, we'll know about his sexuality. So first is Kejo's internal transition. So it has been a beautiful internal transition. So he mentions how he was an extrovert person in the beginning, but as he grew up, he started finding peace in spending time with himself. And though I have never been an extrovert as such, I understand how that can be, because as you grow up, you start moving away from noise and start going within. So his transition from extrovertness to an introverted person is really something I believe happens to many people out there. And I have always you know hated extrovert people, maybe because I think like they try too hard. And yeah, so like the transition from extrovertedness to introvertedness is natural, I believe. um, then loneliness. So he talked about his loneliness, which again I get it because it clings to me like moth on a flame on most days. He talks about his need for children. He wants them for old age support, emotional support. And there was a time when Apurva Mehta, who is the CEO of Dharma Productions, his friend, uh, he mentions he tells Karan Johar to make a will because no one is invincible, and how it like felt a bit too much for Karan Johar when he realized, oh, I'll have to go one day and there should be a will. So he touches upon all these things, how he wants children now because he wants somebody to be there when he might be in a wheelchair someday, and somebody should be there to take him in and out of the hospitals. So there's that. Then music and movies. So he talks about how he's always been a fan of Hindi music and movies. um, there was a time when I tried to listen to English music because, well, everybody else was, but I realized I feel more with Hindi music. Though now that I'm dancing, I need to feel with English music as well, because otherwise there's no point. And I am getting better at it, but I will always be a Hindi music and movies person. Then friendships and fallouts. He mentions some of his closest people, such as Aditya Chopra, Apurva Mehta, and Shah Rukh Khan. He also talks about his fallout with Kajol. He says that he doesn't feel for her anymore, though this book was released in 2016 and in 2017 they patched up. So that was something. But in this book, he mentions like he won't ever forgive her and all of that. But I'm glad that they patched up because what they had was beautiful as per what is written in this book. Then sexuality, of course. So he, in the beginning, he says that he won't talk about it, but then he goes on and talks about it. Though again, he hasn't specified it in black and white, but he has given multiple hints, so you'll know what his sexuality is. And he talks about how how he keeps getting stupid messages even now, every day. And man, it is really tough to be a homosexual in this country, definitely. So yeah, I love this book. So one last thing before I close this, because it's already 5 minutes something. Ugh. So I once went to an event where we also exchanged books. So I took with me an autobiography with something Fry. I don't remember that person, but he was a stand-up comedian or something, I guess. But when somebody got that book, everybody was like, "Why did you get that book? Did you want to get rid of it?" And I was like, no, I like reading autobiographies, though I haven't read many, maybe one or two, but I love reading it. So but they were all like, oh, you must be wanting to get rid of it, and that's why you brought it. But I want to say that I like autobiographies. तो तुम्हारे में problem थी, मेरे में नहीं. That's all. So this was beautiful. Bye bye.